concentrated on metros, and because of that, lot of, though there are advantages, privately circuit and internet was not there. Place for the conducive environment, both policy as well as support system physically. Very difficult to say that whether it is good or bad, but we have to accept it.
Welcome to IndiGlobal Talks, an initiative of IndiGlobal Media Network, where we bring people of eminence who have made a mark in their respective fields in various verticals. Today, we are at the iconic cyber towers in Hyderabad, where the IT revolution unfolded over the years. And I have with me Dr. CVD Ramprasad, who has been with the STPI, that is the Software Technology Parks of India, since 1999. He is with us to speak about the STPI ecosystem and how STPI fosters innovation, research and development, and gives a hand-holding to the startups in the country. And most importantly, the larger interest of STPI has been to transform the country into a software nation. We welcome Ramprasad sir. Good morning. As the saying goes, let's begin from the beginning. You have been with the STPI for now it's almost 23, 24 years. Before that, where were you? And if you can just take us through your journey.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm basically from Hyderabad, born in Hyderabad, and passed out from JNTU Hyderabad in '86, and started my journey with one of the leading public sectors, creating corporate network, and joined STPI in '99, in Chennai, and I became a director there in 2008, and then moved to northern region, Noida, STPI Noida. I was director there, and came back to my hometown Hyderabad in 2014, for both the Telugu states of AP and Telangana.
It is a coincidence that you have been in Hyderabad since 2014, and the new government of a new born state, coincidentally the youngest state in the country, has also grown by leaps and bounds.
Yes.
Can you please, before that, tell us about the major role of STPI as such for our viewers?
Yeah. STPI, in fact, it was created in early 90s, 1991, to support the software and ITS sectors in the country, to support the companies, as well as the focus was to generate export-oriented activity in IT and ITS, and generate foreign exchange, and in that process support other supporting ecosystem and employment generation, etc. In fact, in early 80s, there were constraints for, though we have potential for the IT companies to grow, there were constraints like getting high-end systems and the import of capital goods, place for the conducive environment, both policy as well as support system physically, and international connectivity to export through communication links. These were the basic constraints were getting right capital goods imports. There were a lot of restrictions, in fact. So there were a lot of many ministries and departments were involved for any activity for that was a situation
before the single window.
Exactly, in early 90s, 91.
Right.
So specially STPI was created as a single window organization supporting all these activities. Say we were policy was created called STP and EHTP scheme, where directors of STPI were delegated powers to approve the units as under the scheme, and who will get all the exemptions and benefits under the scheme. So we work on behalf of different line ministries, like on behalf of RBI, Reserve Bank of India. We value and support when certify the exports through a process called Softex certification, and on behalf of Revenue Department and other customs and excise, prove the capital good requirement of the companies requirement for duty exemptions. That was one activity. And we have created incubation centers, across the country. Basically, it was in the major cities at that point of time. We grew, in fact, now we have 63 centers. I mean, creation of incubation centers. We were the earliest providers of incubation. At that point of time, it was only physical infrastructure, with air conditioning and connectivity and all these things. This was one of the activity. And we were also providing international connectivity. We had established, actually, a special dispensation was given to STPI as an international gateway, focused to give connectivity to software export member units. It was actually there when internet was not there. We have established satellite gateways along with VSNL. VSNL Sanchar Nigam was the only international gateway provider for all the activities, including.
Yeah, before the economy opened up.
Yes.
Right.
So we were given special dispensation to create gateways exclusively for us software exporting companies. We were giving international private lease circuit when internet was not there, to support the export of ITA services through these communication links. In fact, our efforts was to bring down the cost of connectivity. Drastically it has come down because of our efforts, so that it made sense for the exporters. In fact, it has helped a lot for the IT exporting companies through these activities. So these are the major initiatives, and you can see today's major some of the big players in IT somewhere or other have taken the policy support and incubation facilities also, including
hand holding was done by STPI.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right. Now, another very pertinent question that comes to mind is, among the various STPIs, Hyderabad has done very well compared to the others.
Yeah.
I'm saying this with this particular premise that Hyderabad now, when we talk about Hyderabad, it becomes synonymous with the IT revolution in India.
True.
And STPI does a lot of work there. And you have been here since 2014. So could you please tell us this particular period from 2014 till date in Hyderabad, how you have seen it transform sitting here at the Cyber Towers?
Yeah, true. In fact, Hyderabad was one of the blessed cities, which had a continuation of policies, supporting, whichever government is there in power, supporting the IT activities, and we have very vibrant, IT companies here, IT ecosystem developed here. Since early 90s, prior to 2013-14, we had very supporting government policies as well as a very vibrant IT ecosystem developed here in Hyderabad. And compared to other cities, the IT fraternity here was very proactive and could take the advantage of the policy initiatives of Government of India as well as the state government, and grew, together. In fact, we have very proactive and very active IT association formed here called ICA.
Right.
And we also have a gaming and animation and VFX activities also is, very powerful here, and it has developed in Hyderabad. We have a very active association called TWAGA here also. So these two associations together, and we have academia, like IIIT Hyderabad and ISB, and academia also is very strong supporting these IT activities in Hyderabad. So that is one side of it. So till 2013, the growth has been always higher than the growth rate of Government of India. National IT growth. Growth rate of IT in Hyderabad has been always higher than the growth rate of national growth.
Right.
That is one side of it. And till 2013-14, we had IT exports of around 57,000 crores, in Hyderabad. That is from Telangana. The last financial year, the IT exports grew to 2,41,000 crores.
A phenomenal growth.
Phenomenal growth. So not only that, in government of both STPI and state government and industry associations, we work very closely supporting the IT industry, and STPI has been instrumental in across the country, and of course in Hyderabad also, contributing for the policy support, policy refinements, like foreign trade policy. We work under the foreign trade policy, incentives and other activities are happening under the foreign trade policy government of India, and a lot of refinement happened actually, over a period of time. So STPI, has been doing is, playing its role in, simplifying these policies of foreign trade policy, as well as working with the states, across the country, including government of, Telangana.
Sir, you have been, the centers of excellence have been very, very prominent in most of the STPIs. And here also you have played a very pivotal role in image.
Yes.
Can you please tell us about it?
Yeah. So, in fact, as I told earlier, STPI has established incubation centers across the country. Earlier we had in the, all the major centers. Now we have around 60 centers across the country.
Okay.
So in all the centers we have physical incubations established to support the IT and ITS SMEs and startups, from these centers. Because the advantage of these incubations is not only providing physical, working space, to the startups, we also provide connectivity, because we, as I told earlier, we have started providing international connectivity through satellite links.
Right.
So over a period of time, because of the technology changes, we have, moved these, gateways to fiber connectivity. So we take international from Tier 1 providers across the country, and we provide redundancies, Tier 1 level, to our, startups, and the users.
Right.
That is one side of it. Apart from physical space, connectivity, supporting the Government of India's initiatives of Startup India and Digital India, we have been, working, towards how do we, support these activities.
Right.
So in early, in 2015 and 16, we started, transforming our incubation centers into centers of excellence.
Okay.
And in fact, we renamed it as Centers of Entrepreneurship. COE is same, COE remains same, but it is Centers of Entrepreneurship. We have started across around 22 centers of entrepreneurship across the country in major, emerging technologies like, automotive, center of COE is in Pune, and blockchain is Gurgaon, and we have AI, and in Mohali. And we have one COE in medtech, medical technologies in Lucknow, and one COE is in financial technology, fintech in Chennai. Like that it goes on. In Northeast we have 8 centers of excellence, in different emerging technologies. In Hyderabad we have, because of the advantage of, the ecosystem in gaming, animation and VFX.
And because of the film industry also.
Exactly. So we started, a COE in gaming, animation and VFX in as one vertical, and computer vision and AI in another vertical. Both are, together located in Image COE.
Okay.
Image, we have an incubation center, supporting the gaming, animation and VFX companies here. In the same premise, we have located this COE, Center of Excellence. So in fact, all our COEs are, run by, the industry with the chief mentors from the prominent industrial, leaders, supported by industry as well as academia, and then both, from Government of India, MIT supports STPI, MIT, and local state governments. In all the centers, this is the model we adopted. It's a collaborative effort to support the startups. So we started our journey with incubating companies, and we have transformed those incubations into centers of entrepreneurship.
Right.
And across the country, actually, we have various schemes like NGIS is a next generation incubation scheme, where actually majority of the Tier 2 cities actually we support startups through funding, from the funding from MIT, Government of India and STPI, and also support from state governments. That is one scheme actually which runs, around 1,000, close to 1,000 startups are nurtured, supported across the country as of now.
Okay.
apart from our other centers of excellence, these are the parallel schemes actually.
Okay.
And focus to tier 2 and tier 3 startups. And apart from that, when you're talking about image, we have completed 3 cohorts.
Okay.
And the 4th cohort is actually just started.
Mm-hmm.
And about close to 35 companies are onboarded. Around 10 or 15 are already graduated. I think we also provide funding, seed funding up to an extent of 5 lakhs for each of the selected startups, as well as we support with external fundings. Like Succeed is one of the partners we have here in Hyderabad. We have Hyderabad Angels as well as TIE, on board. They support the startups. We have state government and the 2 industry associations like HICIA and TWAGA. Both are the partners who support this. Triple IT, and IIT and a lot of other educational institutions, and particularly the industry mentors. That is the strength of this COE. And particularly in Hyderabad, across the country, this is the same scenario we have.
Under the Hyderabad jurisdiction, there are few other CPIs as well, even in Andhra Pradesh.
Yes.
And how are they doing?
Yeah. In fact, this office takes care of both AP and Telangana under this jurisdiction, STPI Hyderabad jurisdiction. We have, apart from Hyderabad, we have Warangal is one of the centers. And in AP, we have Vizag, Vijayawada, Tirupati and Kakinada. These are centers established already. And good, I think they are doing good. We have incubation centers across, in all the centers. And connectivity anyway we provide, and with other support. Apart from our statutory support like STP schemes. And few of the schemes like India BPO promotion scheme, which was aimed to support BPO activity in smaller cities other than the 5 or 6 metros.
Okay.
That was one of the very successful. Like that, a lot of similar. Apart from the STP schemes, there are schemes like IBPS and other things, which are the initiatives that STP and under the mighty, Ministry of Electronics and IT. And in hardware side, we also have a scheme called ESTP, Electronic Hardware Technology Park. Similar incentives are given to that. And we also takes care of the EMC2 policy of Government of India, where Telangana and Andhra also are beneficiaries, So under that scheme also we deploy the scheme from mighty Government of India, and state government and other stakeholders, in IT hardware and ESDM sector, we support that. That is also one of the focuses of STPI. And over the period of time, in fact, if you see, the IT activity happened actually mostly in the metros.
Right.
And concentrated on metros, and because of that, lot of, though there are advantages, there are disadvantages like the constraints of lack of space and other things, and you can, if you can see, Government of India also and the state governments, their focus is to take the IT activities to smaller cities, tier 2 and tier 3 cities, potential cities.
Yes.
So now the focus is that. In fact, if you see, STPI did that long back. Out of around 63 centers, around more than 55 or 56 are in smaller towns like Warangal and all.
Yes.
So our effort is to take the activity to smaller cities, support the startups as well as students there. To, if you see, most of the IT
The ecosystem.
most of the workforce, they belong to smaller cities.
Right.
Then they used to migrate to the bigger cities. Now, if we can create opportunity in the smaller towns, why not? Why not?
Yes.
Yeah. When good connectivity and conservative, an environment is created, I think they will be happy to work from smaller cities.
Right. So one last question, sir. What are the future plans, the immediate, do you have any particular plans and some projects coming up which are new from the existing things that you are doing? Is STPI coming up with something new?
Yeah. In fact, continuing our previous point, like moving the activity to smaller, taking the IT activity to smaller cities like tier 2 and tier 3 cities, is one of the major agenda of STPI,
Okay.
and strengthening the startup ecosystem and startup support. In fact, if you see, we have a target of reaching to 3 trillion digital economy and 5 trillion economy.
Yes.
To have that, to achieve that, definitely we need, hundreds of,
Startups.
hundreds of companies like Infosys and TCS, which is possible only if you nurture, the smaller companies. I am only talking specific to IT.
Yes, yes.
So in fact, we have other sectors like pharma is very, very strong in Telangana. Like that, we have few other sectors. But speaking specific to IT, I think unless we support, because we have been doing that since last 3 decades, but I think we continue to do that and try to, support the startup ecosystem through policies and create a proper environment for companies to grow, taking the IT to the smaller cities. These are the few immediate agendas we have.
Yeah.
I think definitely with the support of both the state as well as the Government of India policies, definitely we should see that few more unicorns should emerge from.
Right, especially from Hyderabad, which is
yes.
teeming with so much of enthusiasm in the startup ecosystem. So now there's a lot of talk on artificial intelligence. It is a double-edged sword. Now they say that it is going to change the world, and it is already changing the world. For example, take the case of ChatGPT.
Yes.
Since its inception in September 2022, the world has really changed, especially in the teaching firmament and the learning firmament. And there's a huge fear across verticals and people that it's going to take away jobs. What do you have to say on this?
Definitely, any advancement in technology will have two sides. Like if you remember when computerization was introduced earlier, we had the similar kind of apprehension, like it will take away jobs. In fact, it has created more jobs.
Right.
Like a few of the routine kind of jobs will go away.
Yeah.
If we like it or not, definitely it will, we'll have new kind of jobs created. I feel that we are in a very delicate junction at a very, where I think it is very difficult to say that whether it is good or bad, but we have to accept it. But our efforts should be, to see that we should not always, technology should not take us away from the, natural, nature, away from the nature. Wherever there is a balance, and I think definitely these things should always aid, for the, human mankind, then I think those fears, I think, I don't totally support it. But
Okay.
definitely any advancement should create new jobs, new kind of jobs. People should reskill, upskill so that, we are prepared, for the new kind of opportunities.
So we cannot stop the march of technology, and we just need to reskill and upskill ourselves to become comfortable with a new emerging world. On that note, thanks sir for sharing your thoughts, and I leave you over here and come back to you once again very soon with another personality on IndiGlobal Talks. Thank you so much.